Okay, now it's time to put on these lip seals. Here is the piston here, so the lip seal is part of the lip, if you can see that. And here's the piston, goes down. Then you have this lip seal. You have the inner part of it. Here's the piston. It goes this way. All right. Now we're gonna have to put this in here. Alright, so what you do, you put some grease around here, and you want to go around this side. This here is a seal protector for the metal. You don't really need it, but it makes it helpful. Okay, set this down in here. And once again, you go around here and go around, push it down. Alright, so here we go. Putting the spring on, spring here, the retainer, and we gotta put this clip on. So we gotta okay, down it goes.
Well, we don't want to take it off of this. We just want to bolt this down. You don't have to be the two. You got a little socket, Dave, in the corner. A little socket or Dave? No.
Okay, so we have the snap ring in.
Never say never.
Alright, now we're about to load this here. The first thing that goes in is this wavy plate, which I showed you had a wavy butt. You must pay attention to this wavy plate, examine it, because sometimes they're broken. Okay, if they're broken, and you get another one, and you put in. So we're going to throw this one away. So here's the wavy. Normally these wavies have just, you can identify it by seeing it as wavy. It's not straight, but normally it only has teeth here and space, teeth, space. So it goes in here. Then you put a steel, then a clutch, steel, clutch, steel. And then the big thick pressure plate goes on top. Once you put that in, you put the snap ring in. No, this ain't this. No, this is. Okay. So now you have this drum almost done. It's not complete because on the back of this drum, on the input shaft, are sealing rings, and you're going to put the sealing rings in. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, when dealing with the ceiling rings that goes down here, you have two types. One, you have some scarf cut where you can, they come apart, you put around here like this, and you can put some grease and hold them in like that. These are easy ones, okay? Or you have the solid ones. These don't come apart, okay? These are normally in the kit. These you have to buy separately, but these are normally in the kit. And you have to have a tool. You spread them on, put them inside here, and then you got to size them to put them back. A lot of people can't do that. So we're going to use these solid rings because I'm going to show you what you can do without having to use a tool. Okay, with these solid rings, you need a sharp razor blade. The only thing you're going to do is take this and cut this straight down the center, okay? You're going to take this straight, just like that. And then you're going to do this one the same way. Make sure it's sharp razor blade. You do not want to play with it. Now you have rings that just butt up against each other. You can put these in like that. It will work. Over here, you take and you put some grease around here. Take one of these. Push it together just like that. Okay, take another one. And push it together just like that. Once you get that in, they will seal. And you won't have any problem with them, okay? So that's how you get away from having to have a tool. Now this drum here is the forward drum, and it's ready to go. So you're going to put this off to the side. Alright, this is the reverse drum. I told you it had the grooves in it. So I'm going to pull this out. Look at the way this sprag turns. The sprag turn this way, lock this way. Turn this way, lock this way. So this is coming off. What happened, this part broke off, so this has to be updated. They have a new spring for that. So I'll move this out the way. I'm going to take the clutches out of here and the aluminum plate that's in there. Okay, clutches out. Okay, here's the clutches. These are the this is the reverse drum. It has a piece that looks like this on the bottom that goes first. Then clutch, steel, clutch, steel, clutch. That's the pressure plate. I gotta take this out. There's a spring in here. This one's gonna be rough. Spring right in here. Oh, can you see? Let me see here. This one here got to come out, and then this thing come out. Get something to get this out. shoot. Let me see. Okay, gotta watch the spring. It likes to break. If it's not break, you can reuse it. Okay, look how it goes. It's beveled. See that? The bevel part, it goes down this way. This goes on top. There's a ring right here that fits right there. Right there. Take that out. Now you got to get this out. You can try to slam this on the ground or take some air and try to blow it out. Now, looks like I'm gonna have to take some air and blow this out. Actually, I slammed it on the concrete floor. I need this piston. This one is going, see if you can see the grooves in there. You can see it has deep, very deep grooves right there. Can't reuse that drum. You have a leak. Okay. Right? I got this drum right here. You can see how clean this section is now. Nice smooth. Okay. Now. Okay, now you take the piston, pull this out, and pull the inner one out. And you put the new seals on. These are D-ring seals. Put those on. Put the inner one on. Around with some lubrication. Around the outside. And you want to kind of tap this in. Okay, once you get that in, then you have this ring here. The ring there. Then comes this spring. Okay, see how it looks? One side is dished. Okay, this part goes like this. And you put the spring in. There's grooves around here. You're gonna have to knock the spring. I have to knock the spring in, so let's see here. Get on down in there. Okay, so here you go. Knock that in the groove. completely in. I just don't want it to slip out. Okay, so let's look. So that's inside the groove there. Now I'm going with the clutches. If your clutches are good, you can reuse them. If they aren't, or if they're old, don't. Okay, I'm not going to reuse these here. I'm going to put new ones in. Remember, this part here goes down like this. Then goes a clutch. Go right out the way. Then a steel clutch. Then a steel clutch. And then the pressure plate looks like this. Flat, nice flat spot goes down. Snap ring goes in. Flip it over. Now you have this sprag. Remember, it turn that way, lock that way. So turn that way, lock this way. If it's good, you can reuse it. If it's bad, you have to change it. Now this part broke. Saw this in the case when we was taking it apart. Have an update for that, which is this. I've shown this before. Look how this is. It has a flat spot there, and then it has a part here. Why? Because this part goes inside of there. Okay, so the way that goes, you put this down, and then this opens up. So it's going to go around the groove that's in here. There's a groove right here. You can see the groove right there. So it's going to go in a groove. It's going to go in a groove. So let's see here. We go on and put this in like this. Okay, now that's in there. Now what you gotta take this and knock it over to keep it from coming out. So let's see. Let's lift this up. Okay, so that's how it looks. This is the reverse drum. Complete.
Hold the back. Here, let me have that.
All right, now we're dealing with this pump. So let's move this washer out the way. Now you got the pump gasket out the way. Take these bolts out. Make sure this is okay, which it is, not rough. You want to make sure these go the way that they're supposed to. You don't want to have these turned this way. Turn it that way, you won't be able to get the torque converter in. The torque converter is going to come in from this side, it's going to hit this area here. It has to be this way, where this is down below here. Okay. This goes like that. So if you take them out, just put them the same way you're going to put them back in. Okay, just orient these the same way in the position that you're going to put them. Put it right there. Okay. This has an O-ring. I'm going to take the O-ring out. I'm going to take this front pump seal off. Front pump seal out, and you have the front pump bushing. Okay, we got the bushing. Look at which direction it goes. This here went down. There's a split in this bushing. You got to find that split. It's hard to see, but it's here. You don't want this split to go right here, because right here is where you're going to peen it over. So try to go like that. Try to push it down a bit. I'm going to clean this real good, this area. If you have some gouges in here like I had when I was taking it out, then it's best to put a little silicone around the edges. It'll be fine. Now, normally there is a seal driver, but if you take your time, you can get it right. Now, you have a new bushing and a new seal on here. Now, here you have a piston here. Let me take it out, just put it in. This is the one piston that many people don't change because it hardly ever go bad. This is good here. So if it's okay and you see the clutches are good, you can reuse it. If the vehicle has over 200,000 miles on it, it's probably best to change it. Okay, now I'm going to put this nice, beautiful piston back inside. This is the intermediate piston.
What do you suppose we fill this transfer case with?
Okay. O-ring. Now something you want to do, you want to make sure this is not real tight. So you want to put this on top of the torque converter and spin it to make sure it's not hugging real tight. If it's tight, you're going to have to knock against it to loosen it up a bit. I'll get the torque converter and show you. Alright, I have this converter on here. This is an old torque converter. This is very simple. You just set this on here and you do like this. Now this is tight, okay? It is tight. When I turn this, it's turning the whole converter. You gotta get this in. Now, I take a lead hammer, You could take a rubber mallet, put it on there, hit it from the side like that. You should probably do that without this. Here, you can put this on later. It's real tight, so oh good. I can lift the whole converter up. Well, it's good you're seeing this, because you wouldn't be able to get the core converter in here. This doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely will. This should turn like this. It's just easy, but they ain't easy. So let's see. Knock it around. Come on. Darn. Here it goes. Okay. This has to be loose. It has to be loose or it will spin the bearing or tear something up. You have a leak. Make sure when you do it you go below this lip here, because if you hit it you'll just make it go inside. So keep hitting the sides. spin it. There we go. See, now I can bring it up. That's what you want. You want to be able to spin this around. That's why you can't just go put a bushing in and think that it don't work now. Now that's good. Now that ain't no stick to the converter when it turns. That's what you gotta have. All right. Whew. I'll move this big thing out the way. Wash this off. All right, so now we have make sure this is sized properly where it doesn't bind on the torque converter. You put this back on here. Notice when I was hitting it with a lead hammer. You don't want to hit it with, or if you have a rubber mallet, a big rubber mallet, you could do that. But you don't want anything that's going to damage the aluminum. So your lead hammer. Okay, so I got that straightened out. So the next step is you got to put this stator part in. You could check this bushing. These don't normally wear. This one is not worn, but if it is, you will have to replace that too. Okay, so I have to move this a little like this because this got to go through. You put a little assembly lube in here. Why? Because you got to put the gears in. Okay, so remember I told you to place them the way you're going to put them back so that you don't forget. Okay, so put this in, put this one on. Now you have the stator and you line the bolt holes up with the bolt holes here. Okay, put the bolts in. Put these in, and then we're going to tighten these here. Okay, now the next thing you have on these are the sealing rings. On the later models, you got sealing rings. The top two look like this. They butt up against each other. And the bottom one, these are going to be hard. You got to push one side in and then try to push one side towards you to unhook it to get it out. It's not easy. Sometimes, well, it might be easier to take them out. It's harder to put in. You can break them when you take them off. Sometimes though it's good to save it because you might end up needing it. You got to kind of push this with one finger and push this one out towards you. Not then break the sucker. Stick something in there. Now if you break it, make sure you get that piece you broke, because sometimes it sticks inside that channel. When you put the other one on, it won't go on. You won't know why it's on. Or excuse me, you won't know why it's not going on. Okay, now that piece is right stuck in there. There's a little piece in the groove there. Sometimes you'll miss it. There it is, right there. Now you're gonna put the new ones in. Top one's easy. The bottoms you just took off are hard because, like I said, you gotta make them hook in like that. So you're gonna have to kind of pull them apart a little with your thumbs. Drop them down in there. I didn't hook that yet. Put this one in. Okay, now got it. Got it. Got that in. Then the other two, they're easy. Now, these are different. These are butt connectors, you see. They just square butt up against each other. Whereas what's supplied in the kit is like a scarf cut, so you have to put them in this way. Can't be on that top, gotta be like that. So you need to put grease on these. Put it right inside the groove. Put the grease in so when you squeeze it, they stay in place. Okay. The pump gasket is going to go into the case, so we'll get to that later. Make sure, before you do all this, and I forgot to tell you, that you check inside this pump. I had already done this. What you're looking for is ring grooves here. If you have grooves in here, then you're going to need another pump. They cannot be gouged out right there. Okay. This is not. This is in good shape. So this pump was okay. So now, one other thing. This is the pump washer. You might as well put this on while you have it. Put some grease on there, and it has a tab right here. That tab is going to fit right there. The grease keeps it down, keep it from falling out. Press that on there. Now you have this pump ready to go. You can move this to the side.